Hulu's movie Swiped tells the true story of Whitney Wolfe, the woman behind the dating app Bumble, and how she fought her way through a world dominated by men to create something that empowers women. The story shows Whitney as a fresh college graduate with big dreams, who starts off with a simple idea to help people volunteer but ends up in the high-stakes world of tech startups. Her journey is full of challenges, heartbreak, and triumphs, and it shows how much courage it takes to stand up for yourself in a cutthroat business world. Whitney's story begins with her trying to get investors for her startup that focuses on connecting volunteers to projects. Unfortunately, the investors she meets are not interested in anything meaningful. They want flashy, profitable ideas, not social impact. Feeling frustrated, Whitney meets Sean Rad, a young entrepreneur with several ideas of his own. They strike up a connection, and Sean sees Whitney's talent in marketing. He brings her on board for one of his projects, which is struggling at the time. Among those projects is a dating app called Matchbox, which Whitney helps rename Tinder, sparking the start of something that will change the dating world forever. Whitney throws herself into Tinder. She studies other dating apps, finds their flaws, and convinces sororities and fraternities to use Tinder. Her hard work pays off as the app grows rapidly. Along the way, she also starts a relationship with Justin Mateen, one of Tinder's co-founders. At first, everything seems fine, even with the boss-employee dynamic in play. But as Whitney gains recognition, tensions rise. Sean Rad publicly credits Whitney as a co-founder of Tinder, but when the app wins an award, she is excluded from the stage, which breaks her heart and leaves her feeling invisible. Things get worse when Whitney realizes Justin is stealing her ideas and sidelining her in meetings. She starts receiving harassment from him, including badmouthing her to colleagues and sending inappropriate messages. Whitney approaches Sean for help, but instead of supporting her, he twists her complaints into a resignation. Feeling betrayed and humiliated, Whitney sues Tinder for sexual harassment and discrimination. She's advised to settle out of court and sign a non-disclosure agreement, meaning she can't speak about Tinder publicly. While the settlement protects her reputation, it also takes away her ability to control the narrative, leaving her vulnerable to public scrutiny and online attacks. During this low point, Whitney meets Andreev, the founder of Badoo, who offers her a chance to be CMO of his company. At first, she had refused him because she was still invested in Tinder, but now he is her only option to work on a project that aligns with her vision of kindness and women empowerment. Whitney decides to take the offer and begins developing a new dating app, one that prioritizes women's control and safety, eventually leading to the creation of Bumble. Unlike her previous experiences, Andrey appears supportive and lets Whitney lead the creative direction. He gives her freedom while being a quiet backer, which allows Whitney to shape Bumble into a more inclusive and respectful platform. Over time, Whitney and Andrey develop a good working relationship and even a friendship. But trouble arises when former Badoo executive Jessica Powell goes public about the toxic work environment she experienced at Badoo, which implicates Andrey in misogynistic and abusive behavior. Whitney is shocked because the man she knows seems so different from the allegations. Initially, her lawyer advises her to support Andrey publicly because he is a major stakeholder in Bumble, and going against him could threaten her own position. Whitney struggles with this because it conflicts with her personal values and the principles on which she founded Bumble. She doesn't want to appear hypocritical by defending someone accused of the same kind of behavior she fought against at Tinder. Whitney decides to confront Andrey directly, but he maintains that the allegations are false. Despite the risk to her career and Bumble, Whitney chooses to speak out against the reported misconduct at Badoo. She makes it clear that she does not condone any abusive or toxic behavior and stands firmly with women who have been affected. This act of courage shows that Whitney values her morals over the potential financial or professional fallout. The immediate result is that Bumble's parent company stock drops, signaling trouble ahead, but Whitney is ready to take responsibility for her stance. Her friend and colleague Tisha, along with her husband Michael, fully support her decision, giving Whitney the confidence to remain true to her ideals. A few days later, Whitney is visited by Matthew Slate from the Blackstone Group, who now owns a majority stake in Bumble and Badoo after Andrey sells his shares. Whitney worries that she may be asked to step down as CEO because of the controversy, but Matthew reassures her that she is the best person to lead the company. He recognizes her vision, leadership, and dedication and wants her to continue running Bumble while also managing Badoo and Magic Lab. Whitney accepts without hesitation, showing that she is ready to lead on her terms and continue the work she believes in. This ending emphasizes Whitney's resilience. Even after facing harassment at Tinder, betrayal by colleagues, and being caught in a moral dilemma with Andrey, she comes out on top. She continues to build Bumble as a platform that empowers women and stands firm in her beliefs. Andrey, on the other hand, leaves the company after selling his shares, but he makes a significant profit in the process. In reality, he was never arrested or sent to prison despite the allegations, and the movie portrays his exit as a business transaction rather than a criminal consequence. Whitney's journey shows that personal values and integrity can coexist with business success, even in a male-dominated industry. Ultimately, Swipe tells a story of determination, courage, and moral strength. Whitney Wolfe Heard not only survives the challenges thrown her way, but also transforms them into opportunities. She shows the importance of standing up for oneself, especially as a woman in a competitive tech industry. The movie highlights the contrast between toxic male behavior in tech startups and the kind of leadership that prioritizes ethics, inclusion, and empowerment. Whitney's decision to speak out against Andrey, despite the potential fallout, demonstrates that true leadership is not just about profits, but about standing for what is right. Whitney's story is inspiring because it reveals the emotional and professional toll of starting a company, dealing with harassment, and maintaining one's moral compass. The film also sheds light on the complex relationships between co-founders, investors, and executives in the tech world. It shows how someone can be both vulnerable and powerful, navigating business, legal battles, and ethical challenges while building a company that challenges industry norms. By the end of Swiped, Whitney emerges as a true leader, fully in control of Bumble, which continues to grow as a platform that values women and inclusivity. Andrey's exit and the sale of Bumble to Blackstone create a new chapter for the company, but Whitney remains the heart and vision behind it. The movie doesn't just tell the story of a tech app. It shows a woman claiming her voice, asserting her authority, and refusing to compromise her values for anyone. It's a story of empowerment, resilience, and triumph over adversity. In conclusion, Andrey does not go to prison, nor does he face criminal consequences. But Whitney's decision to confront the allegations and maintain her integrity marks the real victory of the story. Swiped celebrates Whitney Wolfe, Heard's journey as a trailblazer in tech, highlighting the personal and professional battles she overcame to build Bumble into a symbol of women's empowerment. Her courage in the face of harassment, betrayal, and moral conflict makes her story not only compelling but also highly relevant for anyone interested in leadership, tech, and women's rights. Whitney's journey proves that you can succeed without compromising your values, and that integrity is the ultimate form of power in business.